Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In our today's lecture, we would do the concept of emotional intelligence. I would share with you these notes, and the concepts that we are taking up today are the concepts of emotional intelligence and self-talk. Then we would move towards the third topic, which is assertiveness. So these are the learning objectives, what we could gain after going through these concepts. We would start off with the emotional intelligence today. So you would be familiar with the term IQ, intelligence quotient, and the kind of tests that are being taken up. And these tests measure your intelligence and they give you the result that either you are intelligent or you are more intelligent or you are the most intelligent individual. These are the universal tests that have been taken up decades ago. After that, a new concept is emerged, and this is the concept of emotional intelligence. And this is Salovey and Mayer who have proposed this concept of emotional intelligence in 1990. And according to this concept, there is not one universal intelligence. Rather, there are multiple kinds of intelligence there. Some people who are good at mathematics, they would be called mathematically intelligent. The people who are good at languages are linguistically intelligent. Some people have the interpersonal intelligence. Some people have the interpersonal intelligence. So this is not the case that you would say either an individual is intelligent or not. Rather, the people are intelligent in one thing or another. So, this concept of emotional intelligence is very much important. And here you may have a look at the definition of emotional intelligence. What is this? This refers to a person's underlying capability to recognize and use emotions to better communicate with others. So, this is the ability of an individual to first identify the emotions or the kind of emotions that he most of the time has, or most of the time the different emotions that occur whenever he communicates to the individuals, and how to control those emotions in order to make his communication better. So, because controlling the emotions, first of all, getting to know the emotions, the kind of emotions that are there, and then controlling them. That is the key to success. Now, the second concept is emotional competence. Emotional intelligence is the underlying capability, and emotional competence that refers to the skills that the individuals have. Like you would say, here you could see that emotional competence describes the personal and social skills that lead to superior performance in the world of work. So if you're emotionally competent, if you know how to control your emotions, then definitely that's going to lead you toward the superior performance in the world of work. Emotional competencies, then they are further being broken down into two kinds of competencies. These are the personal competencies and social competencies. Now, what are the personal competencies? How we manage ourselves, how we control ourselves in different situations. Do we have a control upon ourselves and upon our emotions or not? Social competences, how do we control the situations and the people? Control not in a negative sense, in a positive sense. Do we know how to manage different situations, the different peoples? If some conflicts arise, if you have to take the kind of right decisions, if you have to do the problem solving, are you able to do or not? If you have the emotional competence, you know how to manage yourself, and you know that in different situations what kind of problem solving abilities could you have. Only then you would be able to lead the people. Only then you would be able to control the situations and to come up as a successful individual. Now they say that there are different kinds of competences, and in emotional competence, the skills that come under the heading of the emotional competence, they are the listening skills, conflict management, negotiation, group and team dynamics, working with customers, persuasion, diversity, intercultural communication, and many more. And interestingly, if you would see that these are the similar skills which also come under the heading of interpersonal skills. That's why that make it important to understand the concept of emotional intelligence before moving ahead to work at the interpersonal skills, because emotional intelligence is kind of an intrapersonal exercise that before moving to develop the interpersonal skills, before moving to develop the different techniques to behave and and uh, work your at different kinds of relationships, before moving to work at improving different kinds of skills that would improve your communication with other individuals. Firstly, this is important to work at your intrapersonal communication and recognize your own emotions. Firstly, try to understand your own weaknesses, your own strengths, your own potentials. If you know your own weaknesses, strengths, and potentials, only then you would be able to get to know others' weaknesses, others' strengths, others' potentials, and you could better assess others' skills. Now, this say there are two examples. We talk about the importance of emotional competence and emotional intelligence, that if you have the emotional intelligence, how you would be able to control the situation. So this example says that you have an important presentation to give and your self-awareness has pointed out that you are feeling extremely anxious. This happens to you most of the time if you have a very important presentation to give or some important meeting to undertake and you feel that you are feeling a little anxious or extremely anxious. So if you get to know your kind of feelings and the kind of emotions that you have developed as a result of this kind of happening that's going to be there, then if you are self-aware and you get to know your own emotions, you would be at a you would get a chance and you would get a better opportunity to control and manage your these emotions. And this is the emotional intelligence which would help you to control your emotions and to come up with a solution. Now, what you will do in order to remove your anxiety? There are multiple actions that are at your disposal. You could take charge of your destructive thoughts. You could use relaxation techniques, and you could try to cease your counterproductive behaviors consciously. And you would, as a result of coming up with different strategies and different techniques, you would be able to reduce your anxiety so that you could confidently make your presentation. But on the other hand, if you are unaware of your own emotions and if you are unable to identify your emotional arousals at that time and your fears, so then definitely if you are unable to understand your fears, you won't be able to counter them. You could only be able to counter them if you understand them. And this way, this self awareness and this emotional intelligence would help you. So the next point says that applications of emotional intelligence in the workplace are infinite, numerous. Emotional intelligence could help you to resolve your problems. If there is some kind of a sticky problem with your colleague or with a coworker, you will be able to deal with that effectively. If you have the emotional intelligence, emotional competence, you would be able to close a deal with a difficult customer. You would be able to give your honest opinions, and you would be able to complete the task on time, and you would be able to, and in many other, if you would be able to face the challenges and to be successful. So this emotional intelligence is used both intrapersonally and interpersonally. Intrapersonally means that this emotional intelligence would be able to help yourself, your own self, and interpersonally that would also be helpful to you in helping other individuals and in coming out as a successful individual in different situations. Now I want you to go through these concepts of personal competence, how we manage ourselves in this that's given in this figure, and the social competence, that is how we manage relationships with others, because that's very interesting and that's very important for you to understand these concepts. Go through these. After that, there is a questionnaire, and I want you to do this questionnaire. and share your score with me after doing the questionnaire. Share your score with me. The next concept that is important and that we will take up is the concept of self-talk in intrapersonal communication. Now, why we are doing this intrapersonal communication before moving towards interpersonal skills? This is important because I already told you कि इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स डिफरेंट इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स हैं उसकी सब हेडिंग्स और हेडिंग्स तुम पहले वाले लेक्चर में देख चुके हो उनको डेवलप करने के लिए सबसे पहले क्या ज़रूरी है सबसे पहले ज़रूरी है कि तुम try to understand your own self, try to understand your own problems, try to understand your own potentials, your competencies, your intelligence कि अच्छा तुम्हारे अंदर कौन सी इंटेलिजेंस है और कौन सी कॉम्पिटेंसीज हैं जिन्हें तुम यूटिलाइज कर सकते हो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम तुम्हारे इमोशंस कौन से होते हैं डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस और उनको तुम कंट्रोल कर सकते हो या नहीं और या वो इमोशंस तुम्हारे लिए तुम्हारे कम्युनिकेशन को हमेशा हिंडर करते हैं उसे स्टॉप करते हैं या उसे अनसक्सेसफुल कर देते हैं तो सबसे पहले तुमने अपने बारे में अंडरस्टैंड करना है वो करने के लिए हम 3 टॉपिक करेंगे एक ये सेल्फ टॉक है इसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे देन वी वुड गो थ्रू असर्टिवनेस एंड देन वी वुड गो थ्रू सेल्फ अवेयरनेस एंड आफ्टर गोइंग थ्रू these very essential topics of intrapersonal communication we would move ahead towards interpersonal skills. So what is self-talk? As the term suggests, because this is quite self-explanatory term, self-talk, talking with oneself, talking to your own self. This is the internal talk that most of the time the individuals have with themselves. So moving on, we would say, okay, so you see here there is a definition of self-talk here. Internal conversations we have with ourselves, a form of intrapersonal communication. And they also say that the idea of self-talk or the conversations we have with ourselves has been used in speech therapy, sports training, and motivation. It means that the idea of self-talk has already been discussed and has already been taken up in different fields, including the field of psychology and the field of sports. But this is something which is which does not have to do with any one field. As here we would see that they say that here this is firstly we are considering here the totality of human experience rather than the people with medical conditions or with having some sports problems. Rather, this has to do with the totality of the people, no matter the people belong to which field or they have what kind of issues. If you work at this idea of self-talk, most of the time you tend to develop the positive behaviors, and most of the time you would develop the positive skills and in a very positive way you would be able to deal with the problems and issues and you could accomplish your goals. As here they say, Astro suggests that when we send negative and destructive messages to ourselves, we are addressing ourselves in a manner we simply would not tolerate from others. Astro किसकी को क्या बात कर रहा है वो कह रहा है कि अच्छा हमारे मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम अगर तुम अपने सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न को असेस करो कि हमारा सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न मोस्टली कैसा होता है हम खुद से मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम खुद को कैसे मैसेजेस दे रहे होते हैं so if you would assess yourself honestly, so I would say that majority of the people do send negative messages to themselves. Their messages are kind of the messages that most of the time demotivate them, discourage them, and that involves the self-criticism kind of things. Instead of motivating themselves, encouraging themselves, what they are doing, they are discouraging and disheartening themselves. सो अगर तुम इसको ऑनेस्टली असेस करोगे सबसे पहले तो खुद को ऑनेस्टली असेस करो कि तुम्हारा सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न मोस्टली कैसा होता है तुम खुद को कैसे मैसेजेस देते हो क्या वो मैसेज ऐसे होते हैं कि जो तुम्हें डीमोटिवेट और डिस्करेज कर रहे होते हैं या ऐसे होते हैं कि जो तुम्हें मोटिवेट करते हैं और इनकरेज करते हैं इसको हम दूसरे लफ्जों में क्या कहेंगे कि तुम्हारा सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न मोस्टली नेगेटिव होता है या पॉजिटिव होता है हियर there are 4 types of self-talk patterns which are being discussed which came out as a result of the study which has been conducted in 2009 and the first pattern that emerges is that of self-criticism. For example, in self-criticism, what do? I should have done something differently. I'm really upset with myself. Most of the time when things go wrong, what do? You blame yourself. कि अच्छा काश मैंने ऐसा ना किया होता, मैं मुझसे हमेशा गलती हो जाती है, मैं हमेशा ऐसा कर देता हूँ, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. So most of the time, what we do as a result, if something goes bad, we blame ourselves. We don't try to think positively and to try to come up with some constructive thoughts. We mostly blame ourselves. As a result, we become disheartened, demotivated, and disappointed, which won't do something good to us. Number two, self reinforcement. Here, what do? Here we energize ourselves by saying something good has happened to. I'm proud of something I've done. If something good has happened to you, you would just pat yourself, and you would be happy with yourself. But that's not okay. Good. That is a good thing. But you need to also do such kind of exercise in also in those cases where something goes bad. Not only in those cases, if something good has happened out, no, if something bad has also happened to you and the situation is quite disappointing, there too there is a need to do the self reinforcement. Number three, self management. This is also kind of a self talk pattern where we manage ourselves. For example, I need to figure out what to do or say, and I'm giving myself instructions and directions. So here you give yourself the instructions, you give yourself the directions in order to deal the different situations and in order to come out from various troubles or problems. In social assessment, you assess the situations, you assess the people, and you assess yourself, that in these kinds of people and in this situation, what kind of strategies would help me to come out, and how should I behave in these situations, and what kind of responses should be shared to them. Cross et al. Also came up with some interesting findings concerning the role of expression of conducting self-talk under stressful conditions. और अच्छा, क्रॉस की एक स्टडी है जिसमें उसने ये देखा है कि अगर कोई स्ट्रेसफुल कंडीशंस होती हैं, बिकॉज लाइफ में आप डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस होते हैं, अगर कोई स्ट्रेसफुल कंडीशन होती है तो उसमें किस तरह का सेल्फ टॉक हमारा पैटर्न होना चाहिए विच कुड हेल्प अस आउट. So उसमें they came up with this finding that the self distancing technique could help the people in reducing stress, because in this self distancing technique, the people, instead of using the first person pronoun I, they maintain a distance with themselves by using the second person pronoun or their own name. So ऐसी सिचुएशन में जब स्ट्रेसफुल कंडीशंस होती हैं, तो अगर तुम अपने सेल्फ टॉक में सेल्फ डिस्टेंसिंग को ले आते हो तो उस केस में दैट विल बी ऑफ अ ग्रेट हेल्प कि आप उस एंग्जाइटी से निकल आओगे और तुम्हें थोड़ा सा रिलीफ मिलेगा. जैसे यहाँ पे एग्जांपल दिए हुए हैं, फर्स्ट पर्सन कंडीशन में दिस इज अ यूज ऑफ आई वरी अबाउट गिविंग अ प्रेजेंटेशन एंड आई डोंट नो हाउ टू बिहेव इन दीज सिचुएशंस एंड I would get nervous because I would not have an answer. I won't be coming up as a successful individual and many other kind of things, disheartening things. Whereas in non-first person condition where you make use of your own name and you say, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can be successful. You can control this situation. You would be able to arrange this party successfully. You would be able to satisfy the individuals. अपना नाम अगर साथ लेके कहते हो तो उससे ज़्यादा तुम्हें मोटिवेशन मिलेगा. अब जैसे सेल्फ टॉक लिटरेचर है जो काफ़ी अरसे से जितनी भी स्टडीज़ हो गई हैं तो वो यही सजेस्ट करती हैं कि दैट इट्स ऑल अबाउट पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग मेकिंग फॉर सक्सेस. If you want to be successful, you have to do the positive thinking. Your self-talk pattern should be positive. आप सिंपल ये भी कह सकते हो कि positive thinking is equal to success. Positive self-talk pattern is equal to success, and the vice versa. If the negative self-talk pattern, unsuccessful individuals. Hardy found that in sports, positive self-talk was by no means a guarantee of success. Hardy's study also came up with a similar results. But the next thing that is problematic is that how to measure someone's self-talk. आप कैसे इसको measure कर सकते हो? कि a person, if because sometimes it happens, like they say that a person is not only telling a lie but is also not aware that they are telling a lie, that कि वो झूठ बोल भी रहा है और उसे पता भी नहीं है. Yes, this happens, and this is called the state of self deception. अब state of self deception में क्या होता है कि this is also called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger effect. And what is Dunning-Kruger effect? Where an individual cannot effectively determine their true level of incompetence or competence. कि उन्हें अपने ट्रू लेवल ऑफ कॉम्पिटेंस और इनकॉम्पिटेंस का ही मोस्टली नहीं पता होता. क्यों नहीं पता होता? क्योंकि हमने कभी खुद को असेस ही नहीं किया होता, क्योंकि हमने कभी इंट्रा पर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन में हम एंगेज ही नहीं हुए होते कॉन्शियसली. दैट्स वाई वी आर एब्सोल्युटली अनअवेयर ऑफ आवर सेल्फ, वी आर एब्सोल्युटली अनअवेयर ऑफ आवर ओन कॉम्पिटेंसेस. सो व्हाट हैपेंस एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ द डूनिंग-क्रूगर इफेक्ट के दो एस्पेक्ट हैं जो यहाँ पे डिस्कस हुए हैं. पहला क्या है कि अ पर्सन इज इनकॉम्पिटेंट एट डूइंग समथिंग बट ही आल्सो डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट ही इज इनकॉम्पिटेंट. है इनकॉम्पिटेंट किसी एक चीज में, नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन उसको ये भी नहीं पता कि वो नहीं कर सकता, उसमें उसकी कॉम्पिटेंस नहीं है. ही बेटर लीव दैट एंड मूव टुवर्ड्स समथिंग एल्स. सेकेंड पॉइंट क्या है कि अ पर्सन हु इज एक्सट्रीमली कॉम्पिटेंट में अज्यूम वो काम बहुत अच्छे से करता है, लेकिन उसको नहीं पता, वो यही समझता है कि अच्छा उसके साथ वाले सारे लोगों ने ही इतना अच्छा किया हुआ होगा, उसे अपनी ट्रू कॉम्पिटेंस का ही नहीं पता. अब ये दोनों क्या है? बोथ एस्पेक्ट्स इम्प्लाई पुअर रियलिटी टेस्टिंग एबिलिटीज ऑफ सम इंडिविजुअल्स एंड दैट देयरफॉर देयर सेल्फ टॉक इज फंडामेंटली फ्लॉड. अगर तुम्हें अपनी सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न पता है कि तुम कैसे खुद के साथ मोस्टली बात कर रहे होते हो, तो आपको आइडिया होगा कि तुम्हारे कॉम्पिटेंसीज क्या हैं. लेकिन अगर तुम्हारे कॉम्पिटेंसीज का ही तुम्हें पता नहीं है, यू आर नॉट सेल्फ अवेयर, तो डेफिनेटली योर सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न्स वुड बी फ्लॉड. तुम गलत चीजों पे खुद को बूस्ट अप कर रहे होगे, खुद को एनकरेज कर रहे होगे, और सही चीजों पे खुद को एनकरेज नहीं कर रहे होगे. So that's important to understand your self-talk patterns first. Next, moving towards the next thing, an intrapersonal or interpersonal connection. Now, अच्छा, this is quite interesting. An intrapersonal interpersonal connection. So mostly ये बात हो रही है कि अगर if an individual has predominantly negative self talk pattern, तो अगर किसी का predominantly negative self talk pattern है, तो mostly उसका ये negative self talk pattern एग्जिबिट हो रहा होगा थ्रू हिज डीलिंग्स एंड थ्रू हिज बिहेवियर टुवर्ड्स अदर्स. जिस तरह से खुद से बात करता है मोस्टली, वो उसी तरह से मोस्टली लोगों के साथ भी डीलिंग्स कर रहा होता है. तो ये चीज़ उसकी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में, उसकी सोशल लाइफ में नजर आ रही होती है. सो उसमें लाइक दे से दैट पर्सनल एंड प्रोफेशनल रिलेशनशिप्स बी मेड मोर इफेक्टिव एंड सेटिस्फाइंग इफ वन और मोर इंडिविजुअल्स इन्वॉल्व प्रैक्टिस मोर पॉजिटिव सेल्फ टॉक. तो इसको हम कैसे कर सकते हैं? इसमें हेल्प कर सकते हैं कि बाय वर्किंग एट द पॉजिटिव सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न्स हम अपने रिलेशनशिप्स को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं विद अदर्स. हमारे बिहेवियर्स इम्प्रूव हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि जिस तरह से हम खुद से डील कर रहे होते हैं थ्रू आवर सेल्फ टॉक, तो मोस्टली हमारी वही डीलिंग लोगों के साथ भी नजर आ रही होती है. तो अगर आपने देखना होता है कि द वे द पीपल डील विद अदर्स, द वे द पीपल बिहेव टुवर्ड्स अदर्स, तो उनकी मोस्टली जो सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न होंगे वो भी उसी तरह के ही होंगे जिस तरह का उनका बिहेवियर टुवर्ड्स अदर इंडिविजुअल्स है. तो इससे भी हम देख लेते हैं कि अगर हमारा इंट्रापर्सनल इम्प्रूव हो जाता है, अगर हमारी सेल्फ टॉक जो है वो इम्प्रूव हो जाती है, वो पॉजिटिव हो जाती है, तो उससे उसका इन्फ्लुएंस हमारे इंटरपर्सनल कनेक्शंस पे भी होगा, इंटरपर्सनल डीलिंग्स पे भी होगा, कि एज अ रिजल्ट वो भी पॉजिटिव हो जाएंगी और वो भी इम्प्रूव्ड हो जाएंगी. सो वर्किंग एट योर इंट्रापर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन वुड हैव एन इफेक्ट अपॉन योर इंटरपर्सनल communication, and definitely if there is an improvement in your intrapersonal, then there would be an improvement in your interpersonal too. So there is a great link between both of these, and they both are connected to each other. Now there are different kinds of, this table tells you about different kinds of self-talk patterns. Number one, fallacy of change. I would like you to go through these क्योंकि इसके एंड पे एक टास्क है जो तुमने भी करना है. सो ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. फैलेसी ऑफ चेंज एक नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न है, उसमें तुम क्या करते हो? यू वांट टू चेंज अदर्स वेदर दे वांट और नॉट, और तुम हमेशा हाई स्टैंडर्ड्स दूसरों पे इम्पोज कर देते हो, और अगर कोई तुम्हारी मर्जी के मुताबिक चेंज नहीं होता तो तुम एज अ रिजल्ट क्या होता है कि तुम फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो जाते हो. सो द एग्जांपल इज आल्सो बीइंग गिवन. इसका डायरेक्टली अपोजिट है अचीवेबल डिफरेंसेस, जो एक पॉजिटिव सेल्फ टॉक पैटर्न है. एंड हियर इन अचीवेबल डिफरेंसेस यू इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू चेंज अदर्स, you try to control your own need to control others. तुम इसमें एकदम से दूसरों पे इम्पोज नहीं करते हो कि अच्छा जी तुम्हारी मर्जी के मुताबिक कोई चेंज हो जाए, रादर तुम उसको रियलिटी में तुम उसको अंडरस्टैंड करते हो कि दूसरे के क्या पोटेंशियल्स हैं और कौन कितना चेंज हो सकता है, या हमें दूसरों को चेंज करने की बजाय खुद को और अपनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस को चेंज कर लेना चाहिए. द नेक्स्ट इज कैटास्ट्रोफाइजिंग. दिस इज a negative self-talk pattern where for you all molehills become mountains. The routine problems also seem overwhelming and insolvable to you. So here the routine problems, the simple problems also seem great to you. तो तुम panicked हो जाते हो even if you have lost your notes, or sometimes you have issue in something and you become so much worried that even if I won't be able to show up, what would happen? I lost my notes, what would happen? And many other things. So this is a negative self-talk pattern. Then the next is reality testing. Here, what do you do? Reality testing. This is also a negative self-talk pattern. Why this is negative? Because here you react to the problems on their own terms and you try to find the short term solutions, and those short term solutions most of the time they become permanent. कि क्या हुआ है कि तुम अगर अपने टाइम पे काम नहीं करते हो तो तुम्हें कोई उसको काम चलाने के लिए तुमने आगे पीछे से कुछ चीजें ले ली और जॉट डाउन कर ली, तो हमेशा से तुम्हारी आदत हो जाती है कि एवरी टाइम यू वुड बी रिपीटिंग द सेम थिंग एंड यू वुड बी ट्राइंग टू फाइंड द शॉर्ट टर्म solutions to the problems, which is not the right thing. You need to be well planned and you need to just try to improve whatever fault you come across with at any certain moment. In should is also a negative self pattern, because here you try to lecture everybody and you try to give sermons to the people and advices that they should do this, they should do that, they should not do this particular thing without trying to realize their problems and their situations. And flexible response is the opposite of that. This is positive self talk pattern where you assess your own self, where you assess the case, where you assess the situations, where you assess the people on their own merits, and you respond to them accordingly. Adaptively means keeping in the kind of people and the situations and their problems, you respond to them. In short, what do? You see the people at the same yardstick and you try to come up with the same solution for everyone. But here, what you do, you lead and you don't lecture. The examples are there. I want you to go through the examples so that you could better understand these things. Denial is also a negative self pattern. In denial, you prefer escaping. Instead of facing the realities, you close your eyes and you prefer escapism. And here you also get into the habit of lying yourself and you don't understand that you are lying to yourself. Confrontation is the direct opposite to this. Here you don't escape, rather you confront the reality, you face up the reality and you try to find the solution. Interestingly, try to change them before they change you. Here you don't escape. Rationalization, negative self-talk pattern. In rationalization, you rationalize whatever you do. Whether this was wrong or right, you always come up with the excuses for even the wrong things. While in thinking through, you resist this temptation to fabricate the pretext and the excuses for the unethical or whatever actions you do. Here, you don't try to rationalize whatever you do. You don't come up with with excuses for every wrong action that has been done by you. In fantasy, this is the negative self-talk pattern. In fantasy, when you cannot cope up with the unpleasant realities, you prefer to escape to a world of make believes, which are okay. This world of make believes, I won't say that this would always be harmful, but that's also harmful enough. When you get into the habit of this fantasy, then you would come across those situations too where this would become absolutely, you would become absolutely unable to understand the difference between the fantasy and reality. So absolutely negative self-talk pattern. And the last is the truth, which is a positive self-talk pattern, and this is the absolute opposite of fantasy. And here, instead of dreaming your life away, you face facts and you solve problems and you learn from your mistakes. Next, the task for the day. Here, this is being given here. Go through this, what you have to do, and afterwards, I want you to, because these are the 6 self-talk patterns being given here, and you have to come up with the suitable examples for these. I just want you to make a group of 6 people and write your own examples for these self-talk patterns, and then share them with me in the group. Thank you for today.